And I can't imagine there's anything getting in the way of this right now. The people of the middle class are going to be squeezed harder and harder and harder as the world economy is taken apart piece by piece.
This is Kaiser Johnson with Liberty and Finance, and these are the Miles Franklin Weekly Specials for April 22nd through April 29th, 2025, while supplies last. First this week, we feature 1-ounce silver Canadian maples at their lowest premium in years at just $3.49 over spot. Next, 1-ounce gold Philharmonics are only $65 over spot. 1 10th-ounce Platinum Britannia are just $29 over melt. To order our specials or any of the many other options we have available, call us at 1-888-81-LIBERTY. That's 1-888-815-4237. We're available after hours and on weekends, and we look forward to speaking with you.
Welcome back to Liberty and Finance. I'm your host, Dunnigan Kaiser, founder of Liberty and Finance. Our guest today is one you'll recognize for sure, Gregory Mannarino, an extremely popular trading coach and the founder of TradersChoice.net, joins us this Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. Greg, thanks for coming back on Liberty and Finance.
Thanks for having me, bro. Love being on your show. Love you, love your fans, and I'm all full of love today, man.
Our viewers do appreciate a lot that you bring. And one of the things you bring is calling them like you see them. You're very unabashed at just saying, this is what I see. This is what my experience tells me, and leaving it out there for people to make up their own minds. And one of the things that you spoke about this morning in your market update right before the market opened was talking about the whipsawing that we're seeing not only in the markets, but also in policy around tariffs, around the Federal Reserve's role relative to the executive branch, et cetera. And if you could let us know why you think that this is so destabilizing, the uncertainty that breeds so much chaos coming out of the administration, and what you think is the fallout of that. But then we'll quickly move past that into things that are mega trends that seem to be just on keeping on. And we'll get to that in just a minute about gold, about oil, etc. First of all, this chaos coming out of messaging from the Trump administration.
I want the president to stick to his guns on whatever he feels is the right thing to do. He has no conviction. It's like, I'm on one day, off one day, do this, don't do that. It's completely incoherent. I don't want to sit here and beat the guy up, I'll be honest with you, but we need some type of a coherent policy, something that he's going to stick with and make it work. He talks a really, really big game. And then all of a sudden it just flips and flops the other way. And, it's just kind of crazy. I really believe, look, man, he's at the beck and call of this stock market, period, the end. He wanted to stop the bleeding. He floated out his Treasury Secretary yesterday, Scott Bessent, to talk about a potential deal with China that was close. And what did that do? Obviously, the market reacted in a positive way. No proof whatsoever that anything is even close. But again, this was a mechanism here. It's a lie, obviously a deceptive tactic to stop the bleeding here in the stock market. And I think President Trump really got hip to the fact that with regard to the Federal Reserve, the market wasn't reacting very favorably to that either, although I don't understand it, I'll be honest with you. I think the market understands that we are getting lower rates. There's no doubt about it. We are going to see further purchasing power losses of the dollar via that mechanism to a much greater degree moving forward. It's out of control, or it's in control, depending on how you want to look at it. But that's really what's happening here. They want to stop the bleeding in the market. Now, the market is going to say, okay, now that we got this issue with the China tariffs, a massive flip-flop on that one, man. Just, okay, well, it's not going to be as bad as we think. No 145% tariffs here. Now, the market wants something. The market wants to see action. I can say this, if the market doesn't get it, we can expect the downtrend to resume. There's no doubt about it. Even with the Fed, when they start getting in here and cutting rates, which is, of course, their ultimate goal. Every central bank has the same goal, to inflate by any mechanism they possibly can, especially when you have a sitting president saying, hey, you know what, we need lower rates. I mean, nothing can make a central banker happier than that. Nothing on this planet, off this planet, under the ocean, or in outer space can possibly make a central banker happier than hearing from a sitting president that we need lower rates, because he won't say what that really means is a loss of purchasing power, a wipeout for the middle class here. I mean, the reason why the world economy, U.S. included, is in the spot we're in very clearly is because of the fact that we have artificially suppressed rates since the meltdown of 08 here. I mean, look, man, in finance and economics, there are two, maybe three, but I'll outline two golden rules, and these are fundamental facts. And I want everyone to just do their own research on this. And to have a strong economy, you need a strong currency. Does that sound right to you and everybody else listening? Yeah, it sounds right because it is right. And then number two, to have a strong currency, in this case, the dollar, you need a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the currency. But I mean, these are literally two fundamental truths that are unwavering. But what are we getting? Artificially suppressed rates, currency purchasing power destruction, not just here, but around the entire world. And so what happens is this mechanism is a wrecking machine on a massive scale for the economy, for the middle class, small businesses. I mean, we just heard, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't even remember. U.S. small businesses, because of their input costs, because of the dollar that is losing purchasing power, they can't survive. There's no mystery here as to why this is occurring. And the mechanism is only going to get worse, more pressure on small businesses here, on the middle class here. And again, it's a mechanism to destroy the economy, only to issue in a completely new system. That's what this is all about. They want us on our knees here, buddy. They want us on our knees, and they want people dependent on the current system so they can pull the plug at one point and say, this is what we got for you. That's where we're going.
You've been pointing out for quite some time your skepticism around sort of like Trump as a candidate and now as an executive being like the cavalry that's going to save everything, and that rather people should consider the possibility, if I understand your position, that he's doing what he needs to do or saying what he needs to say to kind of keep the balls balancing, and that maybe he's not the one actually calling the shots in the big picture. Is what we just saw, this reversal in this past week on both the Fed and on tariffs, in your view, an example of that?
This is exactly what we're seeing. I put this out this morning in my newsletter. Okay. Who's pulling the strings? Can you see that? Or is it backwards to you?
No, that's right.
Yeah. I did a whole breakdown of how the system works, who's pulling the strings, a full breakdown of the global control system. I name everyone here, man. This is probably going to get me in a lot of trouble. I'm going to tell you right now. I name the families, the cartels, who's behind this entire thing. And I actually talk about the ultimate entity who's actually in control of this entire thing. So I'm going to urge people, everyone here that wants this, just subscribe to my newsletter. It's 100% free. I walk people through this whole thing now. The world is not run by presidents, kings, queens, dictators, or monarchs. There's a whole hierarchy, a whole system in place, a shadow system that feeds scripts. Why is it that, for example, and we could look back on any world leader, but since we do have Donald Trump here as president of the United States, why do people believe he looks at one teleprompter and then looks at the other teleprompter? He has to say what is being shown to him. And then if he deviates from that, you can see the confusion sometimes in some of his interviews. He's like, it's not that he's stupid. And a lot of people think that it's some kind of an issue with his mentality. No, I believe that he's trying to reconcile what is being told to say than what maybe he really wants to say. I don't know, but there are no elections. This whole thing is a setup. Everything is about control. The whole system is being taken apart deliberately, and that's just the way it's going, unfortunately. Now, I really believe that in a lot of my work, and especially this one here that I just did, it really should make it simple to understand. who's really pulling the strings here, why they are pulling the strings. That's the goals they're working towards. And for, look, man, this doesn't mean that we're powerless. There's billions of us here that can stand in opposition to what's happening. We just have to unify. We got to come together and start to speak with one voice. The problem is there are so many people that have been so indoctrinated, brainwashed, which is, of course, the backbone of their control system, of those that actually do pull the strings. People can't snap out of it. They're unable to do it. And it's a real shame because if, in fact, we could get more of those people on our side to really get what's going on, then we really could make a difference. And I still think we can. If we join forces, let's see the people that follow your work and mine, we're strong enough right now to punch a hole through this. I am certain of that. You and I have been around a long time. And each of us has a pretty decent sized following. If we could unify these people, let them speak with one voice, louder, and get this work out there, let people hear this kind of stuff, I really feel that we could punch a hole through the system and get more people to understand why they're being eliminated. This is an extermination. This is an extinction level event. And unfortunately, the system is being deconstructed piece by piece, methodically. It's been going on for, centuries, actually, maybe even longer than that. Or the mechanism of control, let's just call it what it is. It's diabolic, and it really preys on people's mentality because of their disconnect from actual faith or the source. It's really what it comes down to, and it's unfortunate. I've been trying to enlighten people more and more about this stuff, and my work has always been kind of like that. I've been calling these things not human for a very, very long time. I pointed my fingers at who the real controlling bodies are for a very, very long time, and I always kind of used to sneak this stuff into my work. But now I'm kind of really speaking more about it than I ever have been, and I hope people are listening, man. I really do.
The implications, the effects of the, as you call it, the wrecking machine of our current system. Can you talk to us briefly about how that impacts ordinary small businesses? You mentioned small businesses, ordinary earners, savers, and retirees.
Oh, look, the pressure's they're going to keep getting squeezed harder and harder just to make ends meet. People don't understand what's happening to them or why. They were looking for some kind of a savior deity in Donald Trump, a guy here who has an alignment not with we the people. It talks a really good game, but look at the people he surrounded himself with. All these people have their own best interest in mind. It's an incredible thing to see how people very rarely act in their own best interest here. Again, it's all a psyop. People were told one thing, they get something else, and they still support it until the very, very end, until they themselves lose it all. And even then, they don't understand what's going on, and it's part of the game that it's ancient that's being played on people right now. It's a brainwashing. It's worse than that. It's a spiritual dispossession or a possession. I don't know what it is. Who they are has been replaced with some other type of entity, and they just go along with it. And there were people like you and me and the people that follow our work, for the most part, who can see straight through it. It's too easy. But we're not going to see this change. We're going to see, if things remain the way they are, and I can't imagine there's anything getting in the way of this right now, the people of the middle class are going to be squeezed harder and harder and harder as the world economy is taken apart piece by piece. And then when it really hits a fever pitch here, again, what this really comes down to is what the IMF warned about just yesterday. The financial system is breaking down. And you see, these entities, like the IMF and like the president, they have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. It's their playbook. It goes back thousands and thousands of years. But people don't hear it. They hear something else. It's kind of interesting. So what we're eventually walking right into, obviously, is a locking up of the system, which I've spoken about forever here. The liquidity, we are in a full-blown liquidity crisis on an epic scale, and every manner of everything is being utilized to keep the system fueled with more liquidity in the form of debt being currency as well, and the central banks and the Fed's buying it all. The central banks, that's their goal, to own it all, buy it all, of course. So that's why we're in this new war in Yemen, which gets no coverage whatsoever on the mainstream media. You're not allowed to know that. People are not allowed to know that right now we're going on, 6 weeks, 24/7 of a new war in Yemen, how it was sold to us in this initially. Oh, is it about terrorism? It's about shipping lanes? It has nothing to do with it. It's all about pulling cash into the now. It's allowing the Fed to inflate, because war, the propagation of war, the buildup to war, generates a greater need for more borrowed dollars than any other human endeavor on this earth, or unhuman endeavor on this earth as well. And they're going to keep doing this. And the reason why President Trump is screaming from rooftops, why we need low rates, low rates, is because, again, it allows the Fed to inflate. The Fed can't just they have to get into the markets. They create currency out of nothing. They get into the debt market. They buy it all with the units of debt they're issuing to everyone, and they get stronger. Again, it's an incredible thing to see here. There are still people locked in the delusion that President Trump is going to end the Fed. President Trump could end the Fed right now, today. All he needs to do is enforce the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which is put there in place so a president can monetize gold, revalue it at whatever he sees fit, back the dollar with it, and then we win. President Trump would give the biggest gift to the world by doing this, because we could take down the Federal Reserve, and we need someone like this to do it, someone empowered to do it. We'll take down the entire system, but that's not what he's looking to do. He's empowering the Fed with more war, more reasons to borrow cash, and now screaming from rooftops to cut rates, which means currency purchasing power destruction. It's amazing, really is. And going back to it, it's devilism. That's all I have to say on the massive scale. And people are living their own hell. We're supposed to live in heaven. Well, we're not. I am, and I think you probably are too. But most people are living in their own self-induced hell, and they can't see a way out of it. But the truth is, there's so many solutions to this. Not only the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, but we could turn this all around many other ways. I mean, that would do it immediately, and we could end the Fed today via executive order reinstituting the Gold Reserve Act of 1934. But that's not going to happen. So what we can count on happen is exploding debts and deficits on a scale that we're not going to believe. Really, people, their heads are going to spin around like The Exorcist or something along those lines. They have no idea what's coming. People thought this was going to shrink. Doge was going to change everything. Oh, by the way, as you probably heard, Elon Musk is now stepping down from Doge. I think it comes into effect, I think, a month from today. How'd you like all those arrests? How did you like all those clawbacks of funds that we got? How did you like all those people that were held to account? Zero. Just like, I don't know if you said it specifically, but I told people that we would not see a single anything. Oh, but Greg, you have to wait. Wait for what? It's not going to happen. They can wait from here till kingdom come. It ain't happening.
You also mentioned some things that are long-term sustained trends. Gold, for one, has been on a tear for the last few years, with more buying by central banks and nations of the world than in the previous 60 years combined. And oil has been the lifeblood, as you pointed out, of the military-industrial complex, the modern industrial financial complex for the past several years, and the underpinning of the financial system. Can you talk to us about both gold and oil and the mega trends that are in place on both of those?
Well, I mean, what a run we've had here with gold. It's been epic. It's out of control, or in control, however you want to look at it. But people realize what's going on. They're not that stupid. Personally, I think we need to see a little pullback here. Maybe we're going to get one, and then we're going to see a much bigger leg high. But look, I don't even think about this stuff for the most part. My take on this. We're holding these things, gold and silver. These are real money. They're insurance policies against the system. It's how we bet against it. What I've been saying to people for 1,000 years, it seems like to me, realizing how, look, cash moves through these markets in relatively predictive patterns. It really, really does. And if we understand that eventually we're going to get a locking up of the system where the entire credit markets are going to implode on themselves, cash is just going to move from one set of assets into another. It's very, very simple. Once this happens here, what we're going to initially see is a spiking in bond yields. People aren't going to believe. Then it's going to go no bid. It's going to go no bid. We're going to see a collapse of the world stock markets so rapidly that people's heads are going to spin around. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. And then we're going to see, first of all, everything will be selling off at the same time. Initially, when you get a meltdown like this, and this is going to be the meltdown of all time, everything will drop at first. Everything, including commodity prices. The baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. And then we will see this, again, cash move from one reality into another reality, and it's going to go into commodities, the most suppressed assets in the world. My favorite is still remains silver. You know that probably. Then it's my second favorite. It's going to be gold. And platinum, palladium would rank, like I'd say, a 3. But commodities across the board are going to skyrocket because, again, these are real things. And as the currency, the debt dissolves, there's going to be a few weeks here when the system, because the lockup is deliberate, and they're going to push us into this because they want, and they're going to do it at a time of maximum effect when people are there at their most vulnerable to get the greatest outcry, to get people to accept anything that they can throw at them, and it's going to be a system, obviously, of maximum control. I mean, I outlined it whole. I mean, I could just read to you what I just put out today. I mean, basically, what this is going to come down to, it's really not hard to understand here. Let's talk about this here. Let me see where I put this. So there's so much to this, man. But obviously, the end game here is a central bank digital currency with programmable money. We'll track and trace every transaction, and we'll not even own our money. We're going to license it from the system. Social credit scores, of course, tied to behavior, all vaccination status, political allegiance, digital IDs, and if you don't comply, no access to food, travel, healthcare, whatever it might be here. AI policing, cameras with facial recognition, predictive behavior monitoring. You can imagine a global emergency justification for whatever they got. But again, we are not powerless. In fact, that's how I end this off. I wrote to my pride. I call my followers lines here. I said, together we can pull out of the system, own assets like gold and silver outside their control, land, gold, silver, crypto, which I believe is outside their system to a certain degree, but not completely. Okay. But I just put it in here. Refuse these digital IDs. Fight it at the local level before it gets rolled out. Speak truth because silence is compliance. We all know that. Return to the source, the Most High. I've been talking about this a lot lately. It's our refuge, our clarity. People need to be prepared to lead. People will follow our work here. The confused out there is going to need voices going to help them get through this here. We all have heard this one. The meek shall inherit the earth because they see through the illusion. And that's us, man. I think it's you and me. It's the people that are able to see through all this. It's too obvious. It's so obvious to me now that I can't believe that there is still anyone who can't see it yet. But I think people are turning around. I really do. I have a lot of people writing to me, especially as of late. I'd say over the past maybe month, say, wow, Greg, I really do. I used to think you were nuts. I unsubscribed to you. Now I'm back because I see what you're saying. It's all unfolding and it's real. So this is what I'm hoping for. And I really do feel like my goal and your goal here is to make a positive difference in the world. I don't want to change anyone's mind. I don't. I want people to think for themselves just like you do. It's not too much to ask people to do. It seems like a lot because they've been so indoctrinated, so programmed, they can't do it. But again, I think that their biggest thing that they're missing here is reconnect with the source. I've been telling this to people every day, and a whole new world will open up for you.
One of the things that I think holds many people back is our own belief in the basic good nature of most people. Our channel used to be called Reluctant Preppers because the reluctant part came from not wanting to believe that things were as necessary as it is to take an oppositional stance when you're behind enemy lines, essentially. And if you could talk to us just briefly about the remedy that you see for that as far as coming together and caring about each other.
I mean, it's the key. It's the key to this entire thing. We're not each other's enemies. They want us to think we are. That's why we are a conquered people. Here in the United States especially, why certain puppets are selected to be the mouthpieces to represent a particular type of people and only that type of person that believes a specific way. This isn't the way that we were told to believe here. If you look through the garbage, the nonsense, the cover-ups, the fake belief systems here. If we look back, let's say on how Yeshua wanted us actually to look at the world and people. I mean, we could spend hours on this, man. I mean, don't even get me started. But everything is contrary to what we've been taught to believe, even from indoctrination of particular faiths, and it's all a method of control. And they want to suck us dry. So we got to disconnect from that, reconnect with the source, reconnect with each other, understanding again that we need each other. We all come from the same Father. We all have that connection. That's our strength. It lies in that, not in these demigods that we have now. And people, look, I don't know about you, but I have people write to me every day. Greg, you don't understand that Trump is the second coming. I'm like, really? This is the guy that you believe is the second coming of Christ? This is it? That tells me how indoctrinated they are. And I hear this every day, and it's getting less and less and less. But initially, it was epic. And I was not initially even against Trump at all. I believe he has done some good. The best thing he's done is lock up the borders. I think we needed to secure the borders, but everything else he's done, nothing has been helpful whatsoever at all. And there's more lies, more deceptions, more look here, more distraction. It's an incredible thing. So we know where his alignment is. They always reveal themselves to us. We've been warned. We have a book. I think we all know the book I'm talking about. It speaks of this clearly, what we're seeing here. And people still, they go to their churches, their synagogues, wherever they go, and they still can't recognize the incarnation. Honestly, is that what this has come down to? Because that's pretty pathetic. I think if Christ were to return today, he would be crucified again because people wouldn't even be able to recognize. It's a crazy thing, but that's how blind people have become.
One of the things that you've called all of us to for years is to come together and to care about each other and be charitable and love one another. And along that way, it's speaking the truth in the face of when lying becomes systematic, when lying becomes the way to go along and get along with a system that is aligned against us, aligned against our children and our grandchildren and our better interests and our prosperity and our freedom and our free will and our privacy and all those things that are natural gifts from our Creator. So thank you, Greg, for reminding us about that along the way and reminding us that as long as we need to have belief in the real source and in real things and in real friends, real relationships, real skills, etc., in order to get by in the future and to not go for these artificial substitutes that get dangled in front of us in such a bewildering array. We can't. You talked to us about this briefly a couple months ago about how we're getting this fire hose or fire hydrant of so many different things that you can't even focus on any one long enough to make a coherent understanding of what's going on. That's what a lot of people are experiencing. A lot of our viewers are late career stage or retirement age, and they have a lot of life experience, a lot of wisdom gained through life, and they too are feeling that, sensing that barrage of contradictory and conflicting messages from mainstream media, etc. And your point is that's no accident. That's intentional.
All of it is, dude. I mean, I'm so happy that to hear what come out of your mouth, and I'm hearing more of this from more and more people. They're kept this way on purpose, a state of confusion, disillusion, disenchantment. They see their hopes, their dreams being dissolved. They feel like something is wrong, and they know it in their heart and in their spirit, but they're still having a hard time understanding what it's from. And it's pretty obvious to me, and it seems like to you just from hearing what you said here. But again, man, like you and I have been talking about this stuff for it seems like 1,000 years, man. I'm proud to know you. I'm glad to know you. And the people that follow work, they get it. I just wish we had more. I really, really do. More people that understood what's actually going on. And we do. We have, look, man, there's, in many ways, this is a natural selection that's going on. I've been saying this for 1,000 years, and some people are just so blind, and no matter what they do, they can't snap out of it. And these are the people I really want to get through to. But unfortunately, we can't and we won't. So we have to just do what we can to the best of our ability. Continue pushing that. And again, I don't want to change anyone's mind. I want people are going to listen to this. Some people are going to ridicule this kind of talk. Of course they are, because they've been indoctrinated. They can't see it. And it's astonishing to me, but I guess what else do you expect in this Babylon system, right?
Well, that's one of the things we're very concerned about for the good of ordinary people is what the outcome is going to be, the impacts are going to be on ordinary people. And you outlined a lot of them in that reading from your article. We'll try to get a link to the article to try to include in the description of this video so people can look at your explication of that. Because we already got a taste of that over the past 4 years of clampdowns and restrictions on people's freedoms and lives and privacy. And we're certainly seeing it in the false money that's being passed off as money. It's not even money. It's a debt, and it's
an illusion. It's an illusion that people have been told is something else, and they believe it. It's another illusion. It's crazy.
Greg, if people want to follow your work more closely, where should they get connected?
I check out my website, traderschoice.net. Find me on YouTube. Google me. I'm kind of everywhere, and I'm happy about it.
We've been speaking with Gregory Mannarino, the founder of traderschoice.net, here on Liberty and Finance. If you don't want to miss a single interview with Greg or any of our other guests, make sure you're on our free mailing list. Just go to libertyandfinance.com. That's our website, libertyandfinance.com. Put in your email address, click submit, make sure you confirm on the confirming email, and you'll get one email in your inbox per day. We won't share your email address with anyone. It's completely private. It's completely free. And you won't miss a single interview with Greg or any of our other guests. Greg, as always, thanks for joining us again here on Liberty and Finance.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
This is Kaiser Johnson with Liberty and Finance, and these are the Miles Franklin Weekly Specials for April 22nd through April 29th, 2025, while supplies last. First this week, we feature 1-ounce silver Canadian maples at their lowest premium in years at just $3.49 over spot. Next, 1-ounce gold Philharmonics are only $65 over spot. 1 10th-ounce Platinum Britannia are just $29 over melt. To order our specials or any of the many other options we have available, call us at 1-888-81-LIBERTY. That's 1-888-815-4237. We're available after hours and on weekends, and we look forward to speaking with you.